Nice little crappie to start the day. Not a bad start. So we talk about the drastic weather changes October can bring, and we had calm conditions yesterday, 60 degrees, a little bit of sun. Today it's 46 degrees, about a 5-mile-an-hour wind out of the northwest. It's pushed these fish back on structure. They're more organized today. Yesterday they were kind of scattered, so we had to chase them down a little bit with that 1/4 ounce egg sinker kind of trolling the contour lines. They're back on the wood today. Pretty good numbers, it looks like, by the looks of the hummingbird here. Good start. Finesse slip float again, gulp minnow. You can't beat this combo. It's going to catch everything that swims, but you've heard me say that 1,000 times, so proof is right here. Yeah, they're stacked on this wood pretty good. They've all been right around that 11 1/4 inch range. And the key is, what I've noticed today, another good eater, is you've got to stay back. We're about 10 feet behind and adjacent to this big pile of wood that's sitting in 10 and a half feet of water. If you get too close, they spook out of there. You can see it happen on the hummingbird. So you have to pull back and cast to them, stay vertical. We're about 2 feet above the structure, and they're just coming out of that structure and inhaling this gulp. So it's not too difficult of a pattern to master. You just gotta fine tune it a little bit until you get that juice dialed in. That one was right by the boat. Not very big. Well, take that back. He's average. We don't want to hurt his feelings too bad. About 8 1/4, maybe 8 1/2. He's gonna taste good, I know that. And don't get me wrong, we are letting all the big ones go. I don't usually keep a ton of fish, but we have a fall fish fry every year, and we're gonna keep maybe a dozen today. Those 7 1/2 to 8 3/4 are perfect eating fish. That one's got a little bit of speckle on him, so we're gonna put him back. A lot of fun. If you're not out here during the week, you're missing out on some great fishing. I know everybody's got jobs and stuff, but if you were to use a vacation day in the middle of the week this time of year, you're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna have the lakes all to yourself. A lot of guys are in the woods. Nobody's on the water. You can't beat it, especially with this decent fall we're having. Get out here, guys. Get lost in your passion. Another crappie. A little better fish. Probably about 11 1/2. Again, we're finding lots of these same size fish. A lot of 11, and like I said, 11 1/2s stacked on this wood. So it's just important. Like yesterday, it was a totally different bite. We were on the move, trolling contour lines with the egg sinker. Today, completely different. They're all congregated together. And this is just our first brush pile. We've got 8 or 9 more to hit. We're gonna hit every single one of them because I'm pretty confident that we're gonna find the right ones that we're looking for on one of these brush piles. We're talking the 14, 15. We've gotten 16-inch fish out of here. It's not an everyday occurrence, but this is the time of year when you can find multiple fish like that in a day. So these fish are all mixed together today. The last couple days, it seems like the crappies and gills went their separate ways. Today, a little bit of a cool down, overcast. They're all back together again, tight on this structure. And then we're just working over the top of it again with a twitch, twitch, pause. Twitch, twitch, pause. The bobber is a tool. Remember that? There he is. Feels like a better fish. Dogging me. Oh yeah, that's a decent fish. There we go. That's a 9-incher. Nothing wrong with that guy right there. That is a beautiful Northwoods bluegill. Pretty colors. That's one of the ones that go back. That's a better fish. Got our first 10-inch bluegill of the day, folks. Yes, sir. Beautiful, chunky fish. Big old pie plate. This is what trips our trigger, I'm telling you. That just doesn't get old. Beautiful fish. That's the one that goes back. That one goosed me right by the boat again. A little crappie. On to brush pile number 2, and there's just as many fish here as brush pile number 1. And that is what we're looking for our fish fry right here. Don't get much better than that. That is a perfect eater. My mouth is watering already. So this is just a little snippet for my buddy Roger up in Siren, Wisconsin, who said, can you please show me what this gulp looks like, how you put it on the hook, how you're fishing it on the slip float. I feel like I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again just because he asked. So this is what it's going to look like when you're shopping for it. It comes in a jar. You want the jar, you don't want the bags, because once you open the bag, they're going to dry out on you and they leak everywhere. These leak too, but you can get them tighter than you can the bags, of course, and you get more in here. This is what I'm doing. It's a 1/32 ounce jig head with a wide gap hook. I like the wide gap hook for better hook sets. I'm just threading it on there. Head first. Push it all the way up to the head. It's going to sit like that. Here's your slip float. When you cast out, it's going to hit the water, and because it passes through the bottom barrel swivel, it gets down a lot quicker than it does if it's going through a normal bobber shaft. Whoop. And it's just going to slide up to your slip knot, and it's going to stop wherever you set that slip knot. Typically you want to do it above the crappies and even above the gills for the most part. It's really simple to do. And again, today we've had to stay back and adjacent to the structure. We tried to get cute because there were so many fish stacked on this wood. I wanted to see if I could go in there and drop a pinhead minnow on them and fish vertically to just pick some fish out of there. They spooked out of there. I caught one fish on the pinhead. It wasn't even that big, and it spooked the school. I had to, give it 5-6 minutes before they even came back to start schooling back up on it. But the beauty with these bobbers, these finesse floats, they're made out of plastic. It's almost the same identical material as a rocket bobber. So you can make these long casts without spooking the fish. That's another added feature to these finesse slip floats. So Roger, I hope that helps you out a little bit. I know you said you were gonna hop in the boat with me next spring, so I'll be able to show you a little bit more in detail of how we do this.